Africa has arrived. Hi everyone, this is Ami Sampi. Welcome back to my channel. So there's a new show on Netflix and the show is called Young, Famous and African. And girl, I was like, really? I need to review this. So I'm going to go ahead today and start with episode 1, and if you like it, we're going to move forward. What about it? Alright, let's go. So the show starts, we see someone opening a door and installing themselves in front of a piano, and they start playing the piano, and then we see a couple in the bed, and that is when we are introduced to Mrs. Kanye. Kanye is a South African businesswoman, life coach, and she has other things that she does. So she introduces herself and really quickly tells us that she likes to wake up with a piano note because waking up with an alarm ring from her iPhone or from a phone is just too much for her. And I'm like, okay, girl, she is setting the tone. She's letting us know, welcome to Africa. Whatever you think that you do, we're more extra. And I'm loving it. We see her leaving the bed and she's introducing herself. She's telling us that she's been a sugar baby for a long time, that she's known to be a gold digger. And the reason why she's been called a gold digger is because her baby daddy is 31-year-old older than her. She thought she was going to remain a gold digger for the rest of her life, but she ended up being a cougar now. Yes, effectively, she is now dating 28 years old businessman of the name of Z. And Kidzi is from Zimbabwe. So she's saying that Kidzi is 28 and that she's 35. Kidzi has been allegedly accused of stealing money. She said that he's a businessman, but she's not letting us know really what type of business Kidzi is doing. But she said that she doesn't have a problem because baby father also has been accused of stealing money in the past, and that's never bothering her. Y'all, I love the honesty. Like, this is very African, you know, I don't care what my man is doing as long as he's bringing in the money. That is the attitude. So at least let's appreciate her being blunt and true to her own self, okay? Next, we are introduced to Idibia and Swanky Jerry. Idibia is an actress, but she also is the wife of famous African singer Two-Face Idibia, who sang that beautiful song, She's an African Queen. Don't know if I can sing too much because I don't want to be copyrighted on this video. But yeah, and she's telling us that she sacrificed most of her life for her husband, for her children, and that it's time that she thinks about herself. So that's what she's doing now. I think that what she means by now is that being part of the show is a way of focusing herself. She's explaining to us that her husband is larger than life and that she's mostly known for being his wife. Even though she has appeared in a multitude of movies, she still knows for being his wife, but this is about to change now. We are also introduced to Swanky Jerry. Swanky Jerry is a stylist. I mean, he definitely deserves his name. The guy is swanky, okay? The garbs. I know it's going to bring us, you know, the style, always the little African touch, but he's very modern and he's also very handsome. So I'm looking forward to see what Jerry is going to be wearing, you know, on the show, because I know he's going to bring it. So we see them. So they're just coming to South Africa from Lagos, Nigeria. And Swanky is explaining to us that he has a lot of friends, one being Kanye and Nadia and and that they've been invited to a ball. So he's coming to catch up with his South African friends. Next, we see Kanye driving a beautiful yellow car. I don't know what brand it is, but if y'all know, please leave it in the comments. And you know, she's in the street of Johannesburg. Johannesburg is looking beautiful. We're seeing Africa in a different way than what they were usually showing us. It's looking great. And she's telling us that she's going to the Rand, who is a place where at least it may be a hotel or at least like a place where they throw party. I'm not really sure. If you know, please, if I have anyone from South Africa, please give me all the deeds below. And she's telling us that she's throwing a ball because she has a lot of friends coming from all over the continent and she would like to have a party for them. So we see her entering, looking good in a little workout outfit, two-piece outfit, and you know, there's a lot of preparation going on, and she's saying that a lot of people are expecting the best out of her, and sometimes there's the best and sometimes there's not. And we see the venue. The venue is definitely looking grand. I would say that it's not really modern. very South Africanish, but like old age. And when I say South Africanish, like white, it's looking good. She's telling us that the goal of the soiree, the ball, is for it to be bling bling, but at the same time, she wants people to feel like, okay, they think it's going to be a party where it's going to be prince and princess inside, but no, it's going to be African people shaking their booty. So yeah, she's trying to shake the boundaries, and I'm loving that, Black South African taking over in South Africa, especially with the history that they've have there. So I love to see it. Really switch up quickly to Annie, who is telling us that she's not really sure about South African girls. She finds them to be very snobbish, but hey, that's just her opinion. And I'm like, ooh, this is opening the plot. Annie is not coming here to play. She is in South Africa to focus on herself, and she knows she's going to have to talk to South African girls, but she's already letting us know. She's setting the tone. She believes that South African girls are snobbish. Then we're introduced to Mrs. Nadia Nakai. Nadia introduced herself as a businesswoman, but she's mostly known for being a musician, most especially a rapper. And then we see some clips of a video of her, and she's more around like the Cardi B type of rapper, very sexy. And even when she speaks, I can see a little bit of like American intonation. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe she's been to school here in America. And she's telling us that she is first generation South African of Zimbabwean origin. So the way I understand it is her parents are from Zimbabwe. They immigrated from Zimbabwe to South Africa and gave birth to her. She sees her friend, and the first thing she's telling us is that she just got that new Mercedes, so she's letting us know she got the money, African got money, African got Mercedes. And we see her pulling up to the Rand and see her friend Kanye. And as soon as they see each other, they're having a good time, they're giving it to the camera, doing some dancing, showing off, only like an African girl can do. And, they're having a good time, and they start talking, and Kanye is asking Nadia about the picture she saw on Instagram. And Nadia is telling her, oh, it's complicated. So basically the picture that was seen are pictures of Nadia with rapper Vic Mensa. And Vic Mensa is such a fine man. I'm going to put his picture. He's so fine. And she's saying that, yeah, that's her man. Nadia is telling us, the viewer, that she's going out with Vic, but she's telling Kanye that it's complicated. So Kanye's like, oh, I have my friend Diamond Platinum, and I'd like to set you off. And she's like, okay, well, she's not really saying no. So I'm like, so we see the beginning of a second plot in there, right? Both ladies seems to really have a good friendship. In her confessional, Nadia is only saying good things about Kanye. She's saying that Kanye knows the creme of la creme. She always throws the best parties, and she knows that the ball is going to be everything and more. Next scene, we are introduced to Mr. International Diamond Platinum. So for those of you that don't know, Diamond Platinum is an African singer from Tanzania. He is probably the most loved and famous musician from Tanzania right now, and I would say probably the most relevant. He is a superstar, especially in East Africa. He is loved and admired by many. So we see Diamond coming out of his private plane, looking dapper, and Kanye is there to say hi to him, and they pull up in a car, and he's telling us about who he is, and he's telling us that there's nothing better than being young, rich, and African. And honestly, I understand. He is truly blessed, being so successful. He's definitely chosen by God to be in that position. So I do understand that feeling that he must have, to be a strong, proud African man that was able to succeed with African music. There's definitely reason to be proud, and I am definitely proud of Mr. Diamond. Telling us that he loves to be in South Africa. It's a second home to him. He's worked hard this year, so he's coming back because he wants to chill a little bit. And the mother of two of his children, also Zari, lives here, so it's easier for him to be in South Africa. We see him in the car talking to Kanye, catching up, and Kanye is telling him, do you know Nadia Nakai? He's like, Nadia, I think I heard about her and everything. So we see Kanye. Kanye is trying to set people up together. She's trying to set Diamond with Nadia. Diamond is interested and he's like, okay, well, they're gonna see each other at the bar anyway, so we'll see. Next, we're back in the hotel with Jerry and Annie. And Jerry is telling Annie that his friend Nadia invited them to a bar. And Nadia is excited, but she also wants to talk to her daughter. So she tells us a little bit more about her family. She tells us that she has two daughters and that her second daughter has Blount disease. So they've had to go through a lot, but she is in good health now. And we see her talking to her daughter. We see that she's a little bit emotional. And at some point, I think Jerry was looking for something in her phone and he noticed that her last search was about her husband. So now we see that Annie is trying to keep up with her husband. Annie is telling us that she has a lot of responsibilities, especially with her daughter being sick, and that there's been time when she would go on top of a rooftop and just cry. We are introduced to Naked DJ or Quinton and his girlfriend Kaylee. They're by the pool. Kaylee is swimming, and then we have them talking. He's telling us that he is 40 years old and that his girlfriend is 28 years old. And yeah, we see them talking, and from the beginning we can see that there's some tension in the couple. Kaylee is talking about he's not as romantic as he was, and I was like, girl, you're dating an African man, like what were you expecting? How many of you know romantic African men? Please leave comment for me. How many of you know a romantic African men? They may romance you at the beginning. Actually they will woo you at the beginning, they buy you flower, do everything, and then once they have you, most of the time they don't do that much, but that's just me. Y'all let me know. And yeah, they're talking, and we can see from the beginning that this is gonna be their storyline. Basically, she's not happy with him because he's not being romantic. You can see it from the beginning. We have Annie, Jerry, and Nadia. They're meeting at the hotel. Jerry wants Annie and Nadia to meet since Nadia invited them to go to Kanye's ball. So they introduce each other, and Annie is saying that she's feeling good vibe from Nadia, but Nadia is saying that she's not really sure about Annie, but we're back with DJ Naked or Quinton and Kaylee, and we are introduced to Mr. Ndilla. Quinton is telling us that he has been friends with Ndilla for a long time, and that Ndilla is basically represent the way he speaks is who he is. And Ndilla introduced himself and he said a bunch of things but never really said what he does. So I had to go do my research, and yeah, he is a presenter. He's a host for shows. So yeah, and I mean Ndilla is definitely very well spoken. He has that little British undertone and it's very stylish. He still has that beautiful South African accent, but I really like the way he expressed himself. It sounded really good to my ears. And see him, Quinton and Kaylee talking relationship and just laughing. They're really having banter. Next, everybody's getting ready for the ball. So we see everybody arriving to the ball. Diamond is coming with his people, and we have Mrs. Kanye wearing that nice red dress, and she even has some paparazzi at the entrance. I'm like, yo, did y'all call paparazzi or photograph just, for the effect? But yeah, they got paparazzi at the entrance and they're taking picture. Everybody is coming. Then we have Swanky, Jerry, and Nadia. They're getting there. And from the beginning, they're like, okay. Frankie is like, okay, I mean, it's cool, it's simple. You know me, I'm extra, extra, extra. And I'm like, yeah, Nigerians are usually extra, extra, extra. Especially that they've been told that Kanye is like the bling girl and everything, so they were probably expecting a lot of bling. And Annie also basically said the same. She's not really impressed. She was expecting more. And yeah, I mean, here's the thing. The venue in itself, they didn't add a lot of ornaments to it. They kept the venue as it was. I didn't see a lot of decor added, right? It was not a bling bling type of party in the sense of diamonds everywhere, and I think that that's probably what Annie was expecting. And Jerry, I mean, he's being honest. He said, me, I'm extra, so you told me it was gonna be everything, so I was expecting everything. And I thought that was fair, right? So they get to the party and everybody is sitting and people are getting to know each other. Annie is asking Ndilla where he's from, and he's joking with her, telling her he's from Ethiopia. They're telling us no, he's from South Africa. And they're all talking and having a good time. And we have Kanye, and she's asking Diamond if he's single, and he's saying that he's single. Then she's asking Nadia if Nadia is single, and she said,
I have a boyfriend, but he lives in America.
Nadia girl, basically you're opening the door. When a woman tells you she has a boyfriend, but that means that she's not sure. And that's what Diamond was saying. He's saying, okay, well, I mean, that's a way of letting me know that it's fair game and I can try because I like Miss Little Nadia. You know, I can. He said the word. He said he can platinum her. So I guess he's gonna platinum her. Then when everybody is seated, Kanye stand up and she makes, a little speech when she's talking about everybody in this room is someone, we all are rich, we all are everything. And she wasn't being subtle, she was being in your face. She's letting you know, us African, we can be rich too. And I feel like she was doing it because of the show. I mean, the show name is Young, Young, Famous, Rich and African, so she got to represent. And there's never really been a show like that at that magnitude. It's on Netflix. A lot of people are going to watch it. We are going to watch it here in America. We have access to that. So she's basically trying to say, hey, Africa is not just people suffering. We have billionaires here. We have millionaires here. Everything in Africa is not bad. We're just as developed as other countries. I think that's what Kanye was trying to say with her speech, because she probably knew that it was going to be filmed. So yeah, she was being in your face. She was saying all those things. And Annie was like,
oh, no. No, I don't really like it. She was too much in your face. Me, I don't really like that. Oh, she had that little
Nigerian accent.
Me, I don't like that. It's too much.
Then at some point, they're being served food. And Kanye said that she basically talked about the different, side of the continent when the menu was elaborated. Because, of course, food from, and I'm going to generalize, but, food from East Africa is usually not as like spicy of like food from like West Africa. And I know South African probably also have their own food. So yeah, and Annie is talking about,
oh no, she's trying to be vegan. The steak is not really looking good. It's not looking like it's cooked.
Like they probably made the steak medium, and so it has a little pink. And you know how African be. If the steak is not burned, they're not eating it. They don't know most of Africans, especially in Africa, they do not know the notion of eating your meat medium or even, a little pink. So she's like, no, she's trying to be vegan. And then someone is telling her, well, you can just wash it with champagne. She's
like, no, the champagne is bland.
I was like, honey, like, like, tuck up, like, behave, girl, like, you're at the party with the best of the best and you're just acting a little rough, you know what I mean? Like, even if you're not liking what is being presented to you, there's a way to behave yourself. You're not looking good, and then you were invited here, not even by the host, but by a friend of the host. That looks bad on the friend of the host, and then you're making all those snide remarks and everybody is sitting next to each other. People can see you. Honestly, I thought that was distasteful. Like, you have the right to not like something, but when you're like in public like that, especially that your husband, as you said, is a superstar and everything, you're representing him, you're representing yourself first. And you honestly, she was acting like she didn't really receive an education, like just being anyhow. That's my opinion, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. They continue talking, and Diamond Platinum is being asked questions, and at some point is being asked how many children does he have, and he's like, he has between 4 and 6, and everybody's like, between 4 and 6, what does that mean? And Annie, again, I think we're going to call her Judgmenty Annie or something like that, or Judgy Annie. We need to have a little name for Annie, because she's already setting herself up from that first episode. And she's like, oh no, that's wrong. And he's like, well, so he's basically explaining to everybody that he's not sure if the children are his, because in 2 instances he's had one night stand with some ladies, and one of them got married, and they don't really want him to know that those are his children, so he's not in contact with them. So that is the reason why he's saying that he has between 4 and 6. Then everybody is a little bit more understanding. Then Miss Kanye moves and said, someone asked her if she has children, and she said, yeah, she has a child, but she doesn't really think that she's a child anymore because she's 15 years old. And then she's saying that she's very liberal. She lets her daughter try whatever she wants to do because she wants to be able to see her daughter personality. And everybody's like, oh no, don't do that. And Annie's like,
Oh no, oh no.
and then she's like, yeah, that's just how I am. I'm trying to be the mother that I wish I had with my daughter. And she's 15-year-old. She has an apartment next door. And Annie's like,
She has her own apartment?
she's like, yeah. And she was like, oh my God, so how does she dress? And she's like, she dressed like a child. And Annie was like, man, you're giving her too much freedom and she might abuse it and make wrong decision because she's only 15 years old. And Kanye feels like no. And Kanye is shocked. She doesn't understand why people are being so judgmental to her. And Ndilla in asking a question about sex and everything, and she's feeling like, you know what? Sex can either be taken or lost, and she preferred that her daughter loses it rather than it's being taken out of her. So basically being raped or something like that, or either or. So she's saying that, that's just the way her parenting works. And everybody at the table is shocked. And I'm not gonna lie, when I first watched it, I was shocked. I've never heard something like that. But then I was like, time is changing. And people are different, people are more open, and you realize that even in Africa we're not all the same. Even within a country we're not all the same. So we have that lady here that's very liberal with her daughter, because whenever she herself was a younger woman, she would have wanted to have that type of influence. She would have wanted to get that from her mom, so that's why she's giving it to her daughter. And she's saying that that's the way that she chose to do it. And a part of me is like, you know what? At first I was shocked, but then I was like, what about those people that have like big houses in Africa, and then when your child gets to a certain age, they usually have like a little house that's made in the front of the house, or like maybe in the back of the house, and they also have a lot of liberties. Or what about those kids that live in the house with you, but you don't really have time to see what they're up to? So a daughter, she lives in an apartment and her daughter lives next door. So does that mean that a daughter has all the freedom and she doesn't check on her? Like, what are the details? Do you know what I mean? What I'm trying to say is that, said that way, it sounds bad, but maybe she's very hands-on. She did say that she gives a lot of freedom to her daughter, but hey, to each his own. It's definitely different, and a part of me feels like it's kind of refreshing. We don't have to all be the same, and who knows, maybe it works for a daughter. I know people that got a lot of independence growing up and they didn't do anything with it, and at the same time I knew people that their parents didn't let them do a lot of things and they ended up being very rebellious. So yeah, let me all know what you think. Let me know what you think your parenting style is. I am not a mom yet, but I think that I would be more of the mom that would be like 24/7 close to her child. And I don't think that I would leave my child with that much freedom. But at the same time, I think that over time, I'm going to have to give my son or my daughter some type of freedom, because 15 years old is young, but it's only 3 years away from 18. So if your child doesn't know what independence is, how is your child going to act whenever they're going to be in college? Do you want your child to live with you in college? What if your child goes out of state, is in the dorm? Like, maybe we need to think about things that way, and maybe foster a better communication with our children and all our future children. I think that those are good points to think about. So let me all know what you think. I thought that was very interesting. But I mean, once again, like, you do not want to offend the host, I feel like Ndilla, yeah, he disagreed, but the way he came at it was a little bit smoother and calmer than you. And you were like, oh no, oh no, oh no. Once again, that was your host. Behave yourself. You know what I mean? Like, represent yourself, And then the next scene, we have Annie and Ndilla. So basically, they bonded over the fact that they both agreed that a 15-year-old shouldn't have that much freedom. So from the time that they bonded, Ndilla is telling Annie how he first met her husband, and basically was introduced to him. He was like, oh, that's the man that sang the song African Queen. And when he said that, Annie got really excited. She had like that a necklace with the African map, and she showed me Africa, and she was so excited. And yeah, and he's telling her about it. And then I don't know how it moved from that to my husband is everything and I love him, to he had 5 children when we were dating on me, and my child is the 5th. My first child is the 5th. It literally went from one area to the other. And Annie just totally opened herself to Ndilla, just telling him everything. And Kanye came and, you know, they asked what's going on, and Annie was not even able to like control herself and stop. It's already wrong that you said such personal thing to basically a stranger on the first time you met them, but then you don't even have the self-control to stop. And I'm like, did she have a lot of alcohol? She said the champagne was bland, so I'm not really sure what caused her to talk so much. But Kanye was like all ears. And yeah, she kept talking, and Kanye was like, look at this girl. She barely know me, but she already, you know, said everything about herself. Now I understand why she's so close. And I mean, she shouldn't have told me that, but now I know what her weakness is. And then she had that, you know, that snaky grin. I was like, Kanye, typical African girl. But a part of me is like, Annie, you kind of like look for it. And yeah, some of the stuff might be new in the news, and we might know some of it, you know. But I don't think it was necessary that the first time that you meet people, you open up that way. So to me, it shows that you probably are very, very hurt, and you just could not talk about it. And I'm pretty sure that's something that you talk about often. And your demeanor and the way you act is showing us that you're not over it. Then we have Mr. Diamond Platinum that's singing a little song and is telling us that the next song is for all the single ladies, but is dedicating personally to Nadia because she told him she is single. And Nadia is like, huh? And yeah, he's singing the song and they're dancing, and then we see them going on the side and talking. And I'm like, Nadia girl, yeah, you want him. You want to be platinums, and Diamond is playing the game, and why not? You know, you said you have a boyfriend, but he's in America, so I guess fair play, right? Yeah, guys, that was episode 1 of the show. Let me know what you thought in the comment. Let me know if you want me to review episode 2 to episode 8. I'm really excited about it. I'm really excited to see African people like me in the screens and showed in a way that has not been done before. So if you're new here, welcome, and you already know what to do if you want some more. And for those of you that have been here with me, thank you all so much. I really appreciate your support, and I will see you all next week. Bye.